everyone, I am Dr. Anisha and I welcome you to my channel. In the last few videos, we discussed about the developmental disturbances in the oral and paraoral structures, and today I shall be starting with a new chapter, that is cysts of oral cavity. But before starting the discussion, I would like you to kindly subscribe my channel for further videos. As I told you, we are going to start a new topic, that is cysts of oral cavity, right? सबसे पहले हम जानेंगे cyst है क्या. तो firstly, if I give you a brief introduction or a definition of cyst, तो cyst एक pathological cavity है that may or may not be lined by epithelium, alright, and contains fluid. Alright, it can be some liquid, it can be some gaseous material or something like that. अगर मैं कहूँ cyst क्या है, तो cyst एक pathological cavity है that may or may not be lined by epithelium. Cyst जो है वो epithelium की lining उसमें होगी या नहीं भी हो सकती है. Alright, let's say this is your epithelial lining, okay? And इसके अंदर में it will contain a fluid which can be either a liquid or gaseous material. मैंने आपको अभी बताया कि cyst may or may not be lined by epithelium, right? तो अब next question आपके दिमाग में आएगा कि इस epithelium का source क्या है. ये जो epithelium है ये किस किस जगह से derive हो सकता है, okay? तो इसके तीन source हैं, alright? जो पहला सोर्स होगा वो है ओडोंटोजेनिक अपैरेटस. जो भी आपका टूथ फॉर्मेशन हो रहा है तो उस समय में जो आपका एपिथेलियल कंपोनेंट होगा तो उससे डेराइव होके सिस्ट की लाइनिंग बन जाएगी, एंड दैट इज व्हाई इट इज नोन एज ओडोंटोजेनिक apparatus. Alright, now the second source of this epithelium is their remnants. Now it can either be the epithelium which is derived from odontogenic apparatus or their remnants. Alright, now the third and most interesting part is जब दो bones का fusion हो रहा होता है, alright, जब दो bones fuse हो रहे होते हैं तो उस समय there is an entrapment of epithelium, alright, which further leads to formation of cyst. Now, for example, this is your bone, and if there is a fusion between these two bones, and उस समय में there is an entrapment of this epithelial component, तो वहाँ पे इस epithelial lining का generation हो जाएगा या formation हो जाएगा, okay? So this was the source of the epithelium which may or may not line the cyst. All right, now when I talk about the wall component, okay, for example this is one of the section of your cyst जिसमें कि ये epithelial और wall component है जिसको हम capsule भी कहते हैं. I shall be using the term capsule. All right, now this is your cystic cavity जिसमें कि आपका fluid, semi solid और gaseous material अंदर filled है. All right, now when I talk about the wall component कि what is the composition of the wall or the capsule, so सबसे पहले the wall or the capsule will contain a collagenous fibrous connective tissue, all right, with an epithelial lining, as I already told you, epithelial lining, okay, along with some factors. See, now एक बहुत important feature है इस capsule का which I am gonna tell you, and ये हमें आगे जब हम cysts of the oral cavity हम पढ़ेंगे तो उसमें it will be very helpful to us. Now what is that? This capsule or your wall, it produces some factors. All right, अब ये जो factors हैं इनका क्या काम है? They are capable of resorption of bone. Okay, नाउ इससे मैं क्या कंक्लूजन निकाल सकती हूँ? इससे मुझे ये समझ में आ रहा है, जहां भी सिस्टिक कैविटी प्रेजेंट होगा, जहां भी सिस्ट प्रेजेंट होगा, एंड इफ देयर इज बोन प्रेजेंट नियर टू इट, तो इट विल हैव अ टेंडेंसी टू रिजॉर्व द बोन. ऑलराइट, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, दिस इज योर मैंडिबल. Okay, now this is your tooth. Okay, and let's say आपका cyst जो है कुछ इस तरीके से present है. Now what will happen? ये आपका cyst है. For example, this is your epithelial lining or capsule. Okay, I'll use the word capsule or wall of the cyst. Now what will it do? ये एक ऐसा factor produce करेगा जिसके वजह से the bone will start resorbing, and finally what will happen is there will be resorption of bone. You will see a big lucency in that area, and धीरे धीरे bone resorb होने के कारण this tooth will get mobile. Okay, and जब ये tooth में mobility आ जाएगी, there will be loss of tooth, and thus and the series will go on. तो basically what I tried to tell you is, ये जो सिस्टिक कैविटी है, ये जो वॉल है, ये जो कैप्सूल है, इट सिक्रीट्स सम फैक्टर्स विच आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द रिजॉर्प्शन ऑफ बोन. जहां भी ये सिस्ट प्रेजेंट होगा, वहां पे बोन के रिजॉर्प्शन यू कैन ऑब्जर्व. सो दिस वाज ऑल अबाउट अ शॉर्ट डिस्क्रिप्शन अबाउट सिस्ट. नाउ लेट अस टॉक समथिंग अबाउट द क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ सिस्ट. ऑलराइट, लाइक ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दिस क्लासिफिकेशन वी शैल बी कवरिंग द डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ सिस्ट्स आल्सो. तो अगर मैं क्लासिफिकेशन की बात करूं, तो सबसे पहले वी क्लासिफाई सिस्ट्स एज ओडोंटोजेनिक, नॉन ओडोंटोजेनिक एंड मिसलेनियस. ऑलराइट, तो नाम से समझ में आ रहा है, इफ इट इज डिराइव्ड फ्रॉम द कंपोनेंट ऑफ टूथ, then it will be odontogenic or something related to tooth. Odontogenic is the word. Okay, now अगर टूथ से डिराइव नहीं हुआ है या फिर टूथ से रिलेटेड नहीं है, तो दैट शैल बी नोन एज नॉन ओडोंटोजेनिक. ओके, एंड फाइनली देयर आर सम मिसलेनियस सिस्ट्स. नाउ इफ आई टॉक अबाउट द ओडोंटोजेनिक सिस्ट, ओके, तो ओडोंटोजेनिक सिस्ट के अंदर हम फर्स्टली डेवलपमेंटल सिस्ट पढ़ेंगे, and then we will be studying about inflammatory cyst. Okay, now developmental cysts are further classified as intraosseous, जो कि bone के अंदर नजर आएगा, and extraosseous, जो कि soft tissue में नजर आएगा. Okay, now when I talk about non-odontogenic cyst, तो non-odontogenic cyst को भी हम developmental और inflammatory में divide करेंगे. Okay, now developmental में again intraosseous and extraosseous. Now your inflammatory cysts are divided into traumatic cyst and then your infectious cyst. Okay, we shall be covering all these cysts, okay, in the upcoming discussion. Now finally I told you there are some miscellaneous cysts. So this is the classification. इस classification के basis पे we shall be covering all the cysts of the oral cavity. Now as we discussed in the classification, firstly we are going to study about the odontogenic cyst. तो अगर मैं आपको एक शॉर्ट में डिस्क्रिप्शन दूं, what is odontogenic cyst, तो नाम से समझ में आ रहा है, जो cyst जो होंगे उनकी जो epithelial lining होगी, it is going to derive from the odontogenic apparatus. All right, so it is basically, the cyst is basically derived from the epithelium associated with the development of odontogenic apparatus. Now what does this mean? जब आपका टूथ का डेवलपमेंट होगा, तो उस टाइम पे जो भी आपके ओडोंटोजेनिक apparatus के कंपोनेंट्स होंगे, तो उससे डेराइव होके ये सिस्ट फॉर्म होगा. एंड यूजुअली व्हाट वी सी इज, जो आपकी एपिथेलियल लाइनिंग होगी, that is mostly stratified squamous epithelium. All right, so ये एक short description था about odontogenic cyst. तो सबसे पहला cyst जो हम इस कैटेगरी में डिस्कस करेंगे वो है OKC, दैट इज ओडोंटोजेनिक केराटोसिस्ट. तो फर्स्टली आई विल टेल यू अ वेरी शॉर्ट डिस्क्रिप्शन अबाउट व्हाट OKC इज. ओके, सो फिलिप्सन फर्स्टली यूज्ड द टर्म OKC in 1956. The name keratocyst was given because the epithelium produces so much keratin that it almost fills the cystic cavity. Okay, ये एक बहुत ही important point है and it's very interesting to know that OKC में the epithelial lining is gonna produce so much keratin so that it fills the cystic cavity completely. And so that is why the name has been given as odontogenic keratocyst. Okay, keratocyst. Now thirdly, in 1967, Toller was a scientist. Okay, he suggested that OKC should be regarded as a benign neoplasm. Okay, why? Because of its clinical features. Now we will be studying about its clinical features very shortly. So what happened in 1967? Toller ने suggest किया कि OKC को हम benign neoplasm में हम categorize कर सकते हैं because it has got such clinical features. Now they are a unique cyst because they behave aggressively. All right, then they can recur. Okay, the recurrence rate or the probability to occur again is very high. And finally, they can be associated with nevoid basal cell carcinoma syndrome. I shall be telling you about this also. So basically, Toller in 1967, he suggested that OKC should be named under benign neoplasm. क्यों? Because of these features. Firstly, OKC की जो behavior है, it behaves very aggressively. Okay. Then OKC की जो recurrence rate है, that is also very much. And finally, OKC is associated with a syndrome जिसको हम कहते हैं nevoid basal cell carcinoma syndrome. Okay. So this was a very short description about the history of OKC. And finally, in 2005, WHO reclassified OKC and labeled it keratocystic odontogenic tumor, that is KCOT. Okay, because of its aggressive behavior, because of its recurrence rate, and also because of its mutation in PTCH gene. We will be talking about this also. But however, this was not accepted unanimously, okay, by others because of reasons of genetics and molecular studies. Now giving you a very brief introduction about OKC. Firstly, I told you it is very much aggressive cyst. It is very much aggressive in nature, okay. And the most important thing to be kept in mind is जो epithelial lining होगी in OKC, it is derived from the rests of dental lamina. Okay, tooth development के time जो आपके dental lamina होते हैं उनके बाद में जो remnants होते हैं which are known as rests of dental lamina, उससे derive होगा आपका epithelial lining. Okay, now coming to the clinical feature, let us talk about age. तो basically OKC जो है आपका वो it starts from very young age to elderly, okay, but the peak is seen in second to third decade of life. Okay, now if I talk about the gender predilection, so males are more affected from OKC than females. Okay, and then if I talk about location, तो लोकेशन में सबसे पहले मैंडिबल का जो थर्ड मोलर एरिया होगा that will be more affected, then your cuspid and then your anterior portion. Again, अगर मैं आपके maxilla की बात करूं, maxilla में your third molar area will be more affected than your cuspid area. Okay, so this was the most common location which we see in OKC. Now let us talk about the clinical feature or the clinical presentation of OKC. So firstly, 50% of patients are symptomatic. Okay, other 50% जो हैं उनमें symptoms initially आपको नहीं नजर आएगा. Okay, now clinical presentation की अगर मैं बात करूं तो ओकेसी में सबसे पहले पेशेंट विल हैव पेन, ओके, एंड देन द पेशेंट विल हैव सॉफ्ट टिश्यू swelling, paresthesia of lips. Secondary infection can happen if it is near to maxillary sinus. All right, if the OKC is present near to maxillary sinus in maxilla, तो आपके secondary infection के जो chances हैं they are very high. All right. Then the next point is the aspirate from OKC. मैंने आपको बताया था OKC के नाम से समझ में आ रहा है odontogenic keratocyst. So this is gonna have keratin in the cystic cavity. When you take an aspirate from OKC, so you will tend to see a cheesy material, all right, from the cystic cavity, which is suggestive of keratin. Features of OKC in detail. Firstly, जो radiological OKC की उसमें mostly you will see unilocular radiolucency, all right, something like this, okay. Now the cystic cavity will have a defined peripheral rim. जो आपकी सिस्टिक कैविटी का जो बॉर्डर होगा दैट विल बी अ वेरी डिफाइंड पेरिफेरल रिम, ऑल राइट. आपको पूरा देयर विल बी नो ब्रेक, इट इज गोना बी वेरी मच डिफाइंड एंड कंसिस्टेंटली प्रेजेंट. नाउ द थर्ड पॉइंट सेज स्कैलोपिंग ऑफ द बॉर्डर प्रेजेंट. नाउ दिस बॉर्डर विल हैव scalloping like this, okay. The most important thing to be kept in mind is you can also see multilocular OKC, okay. Now this multilocular OKC is basically present in association with satellite cyst, and it can also give a representation of a odontogenic tumor called ameloblastoma. तो जब भी आप मल्टीलॉक्यूलर ओकेसी देखेंगे रेडियोग्राफ पे तो इट कैन गिव illusion of ameloblastoma also. So this can be differentiated or the final diagnosis can be given on the basis of your biopsy. All right. So this was few radiological features of your OKC. कैसे आप OKC को radiologically identify कर सकते हैं. Now coming to the fifth point, what does it say? जो आपका buccal expansion है OKC में, it is present in 30% cases of maxilla and 50% cases of mandible, okay? जो आपका buccal expansion होगा, okay, आपकी जो swelling होगी वो 30% cases में maxilla में prominent होगा and 50% mandible में होगा. So what does this mean? This means that OKC in most of the cases it expands like this. For example, if I tell you, let us assume this as your mandible, okay? तो जो expansion होगा वो आपका vertical expansion होगा, मतलब not something like this. Now most of the cases में what happens is other cystic lesions में what happens is there is expansion of bony plates of your buccal and lingual side. Buccal expansion, lingual expansion present होता है तो we can observe कि okay there is a swelling, there is an expansion, so there must be some problem. Now what happens in OKC is OKC में ये एक बहुत बड़ा problem है कि जो expansion होगा वो आपका longitudinally या vertical direction में होगा. So what happens initially काफी दिनों तक you will not be able to see a very prominent clinical presentation in OKC, and that is why there is aggressive behavior of this cyst present, okay. तो ये जो expansion होगा आपका buccal expansion वो 30% maxilla and 50% mandible में होगा. बाकी 70% maxilla and 50% mandible में you will not see the expansion in buccal cortical plates. The expansion will be like this, vertical direction में expansion होगा. So this is a very important point to be kept in mind, okay. What happens is जो आपके let's say this is your mandible, okay, and this is your third molar. All right, let's assume this is your OKC. Okay, now I told you OKC की जो epithelial lining है, it produces different kinds of factors, and this factor has got the tendency to resorb the bone near to it. Okay, धीरे धीरे this epithelial lining is gonna resorb the bone adjacent to it, and for example the extent comes up to this level. ठीक है, अब धीरे धीरे जब ये एक्सपेंशन होगा तो व्हाट हैपेंस इज ये जो एक्सपेंशन है वो इतना ज्यादा हो जाएगा. Now this is gonna hamper your third molar, and finally there will be resorption of the roots, and then further the tooth is gonna get mobile, and then finally इसका like exfoliation of the tooth will happen, mobility हो जाएगी. So this is the aggressive behavior of OKC, right? So this was all about the radiological feature of your OKC, and finally some atypical presentation will be extraosseous OKC, जो आपका पेरिफेरल OKC जिसको हम बोलते हैं, जो कि सॉफ्ट टिश्यू में प्रेजेंट होता है. दे occur in your gingiva, your cheek tissues and lateral facial deep region. So this was all about your radiological features. Now let us talk about the histological features of OKC. तो सबसे पहले अगर मैं wall of OKC की बात करूं तो it is usually thin until and unless it is superimposed by some inflammation. Okay, then when I talk about the composition of your wall or capsule, so it is parakeratinized surface which is typically corrugated, ribbed or wrinkled. Now when I talk about the composition of your wall or capsule, so basically it is a parakeratinized epithelium, okay, which is corrugated. If I draw a diagram, so this is your section of your cyst. So this is your epithelial lining, okay, this is your stratified squamous epithelium, ये वाला section. This is your cystic cavity, okay, this is your connective tissue, this is your cystic cavity, okay, and ये जो आपका epithelial lining होगा that will be ribbed or wrinkled or corrugated, like something like this. Okay, now there is something very important in this section which I am gonna tell you now. Let us draw a diagram of wall or epithelial lining of OKC. So I told you we have a corrugated lining. So let us assume this is our basement membrane. All right. So basement membrane में firstly there will be columnar cells. ठीक है? And on this section I'll draw a very small cut section of your cystic cavity. Okay? तो अगर मैं इस तरफ एक छोटा स्मॉल सेक्शन बनाऊं सिस्टिक कैविटी का, तो इट विल लुक समथिंग लाइक दिस. मैंने इतने सेक्शन को यहाँ ड्रॉ कर लिया. ओके, तो क्या होगा, ये आपका कॉलमनर सेल है, एंड ओकेसी में एक बहुत ही पेक्यूलियर फीचर है या अपीयरेंस है जिसको हम कहते हैं पिकेट फेंस अपीयरेंस या फिर टॉमस्टोन अपीयरेंस. नाउ व्हाट डज दिस मीन? ओकेसी में जब आप ऑब्जर्व करेंगे तो आपको ये जो कॉलमनर सेल्स हैं उनमें टिपिकली जो न्यूक्लियस है वो इस तरीके से अवे फ्रॉम बेसमेंट मेम्ब्रेन आपको दिखाई देगा. ऑलराइट, नाउ दिस गिव्स एन अपीयरेंस ऑफ पिकेट फेंस अपीयरेंस या फिर टॉमस्टोन अपीयरेंस. ऐसा अज्यूम हो रहा है जैसे कि एक टॉमस्टोन रखा हुआ है, एंड दैट इज वाई इस अपीयरेंस को नाम दिया गया है पिकेट फेंस अपीयरेंस या फिर टॉमस्टोन अपीयरेंस. ओके, अब इसके ऊपर यू विल हैव फ्यू लेयर्स ऑफ योर spinous layer, all right, and then the epithelial will go on. Okay, now when I talk about the layers, so OKC में you will tend to see 6 to 10 or 6 to 8 layers of your cells. ठीक है, I told you it is a thin layer. जब तक इसमें inflammation या secondary infection नहीं हो जाता है तब तक it will have a very thin layer. Okay, now let us talk about rete-ridges. तो OKC में rete-ridges will be absent. ठीक है, and finally in 94% of the cases epithelial peeling is seen from the connective tissue. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about something very important in this topic, that is satellite cyst और daughter cyst. मैंने आपको अभी रेडियोलॉजिकल फीचर्स में बताया कि जो मल्टीलोक्यूलर रेडियोलुसेंसीज हैं इन OKC is basically associated with your satellite cyst. Now I'm gonna tell you what is satellite cyst or daughter cyst. Okay, I already told you जो आपका हिस्टोलॉजिकल फीचर्स में जो OKC में लाइनिंग होगी, एपिथेलियल लाइनिंग होती है OKC की, दैट इज कोरियोगेटेड. ओके, तो कोरियोगेटेड अपीयरेंस में जब आप इसको 3D में अज्यूम करेंगे एंड व्हेनेवर यू टेक अ क्रॉस सेक्शन और अ सेक्शन फॉर बायोप्सी, तो व्हाट हैपेंस इज यू सी सिस्ट विद इन द सिस्ट. ऑलराइट, तो इस कंडीशन को हम कहते हैं सैटेलाइट सिस्ट और डॉटर सिस्ट. आई एम गोइंग टू रिपीट दिस अगेन. व्हाट हैपेंस इज व्हेनेवर यू टेक सेक्शन ऑफ OKC or the cyst, the OKC is basically a 3D structure, right? So जब आप सेक्शन में इसको like कट करेंगे तो you will see small cyst within the big cyst or big section. तो ये जो small cyst है उसको हम बोलेंगे सैटेलाइट सिस्ट या फिर डॉटर सिस्ट. ये जो आइलैंड्स ऑफ सिस्ट हैं ये बेसिकली एंड्स ऑफ फोल्ड्स ऑफ लाइनिंग एपिथेलियम होते हैं जब आप इसको 3D में सेक्शन करेंगे. ओके, एंड दे रिप्रेजेंट द एंड्स ऑफ फोल्ड्स ऑफ लाइनिंग एपिथेलियम ऑफ द मेन सिस्टिक कैविटी व्हिच हैव बीन कट इन क्रॉस सेक्शन. नाउ देयर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड डेंटिनॉइड फॉर्मेशन. ऑलराइट, सो देयर इज अ फॉर्मेशन ऑफ अ कंपोनेंट due to the inductive effect, okay, of the odontogenic epithelial component which is known as dentinoid formation. You just need to know the term. It is very unusual in OKC. Now when we talk about the lumen of OKC, I have already told you it is very much filled with keratin, and जब आप aspirate लेंगे तो you will find a cheesy material. So let us see. So lumen of OKC is filled with thin straw colored fluid, all right, or thick creamy material. So when we talk about the lumen of OKC, it is basically filled with either a thin straw colored fluid or a thick creamy material. Now whenever you take an aspirate, you can also see cholesterol or your hyaline bodies, all right, at the site of inflammation they can also be present. This was all about the histological features which is seen in odontogenic keratocyst or your OKC. Now let us move on to the treatment and prognosis part of your OKC. So since it is a very aggressive lesion, so surgical excision has to be done anyhow. When I talk about the recurrence, it has got a very high recurrence rate, as I already told you. Now the reason for this high recurrence rate is basically, सबसे पहले I told you the wall is very much thin and friable. तो जब भी हम surgically उसको excise करते हैं तो there is a tendency to the fragments of the wall can easily break off, and then there can be some remnants left over there, and then it can again recur, right? So this was the recurrence of the OKC. Now I already told you OKC has got an epithelial wall जिससे कि जो factors release होते हैं they have the tendency to resorb or perforate the bone. Now in case of bone perforation, obviously the removal of the bone has to be done. It can either be a partial removal or a complete or total removal. For example, if the perforation of ramus takes place, so ultimately you have to do partial mandibulectomy or total mandibulectomy or marginal resection has to be done depending upon the case. All right. Now finally, when I talk about the three basic methods of treatment, तो सबसे पहले we have marsupialization, then enucleation with primary closure can be done, and finally the third way of treating this condition is enucleation with open packaging. These three kinds of treatment modalities are present. Depending upon the situation or the case, decide करते हैं इनमें से कौन सा treatment plan has to be done. We will be talking about these three kinds of treatment modality in surgery section. Lastly, when I talk about the follow-up of any OKC case, तो सबसे पहले तो annual radiograph is very much essential for first 5 years of surgery. तो since the recurrence rate is very much high, तो annual radiograph has to be done for at least 5 years after the surgery. So this was all about the treatment and prognosis of your OKC. Now, whenever we talk about OKC, we also discuss nevoid basal cell carcinoma syndrome. As I already told you, OKC is mostly associated with a syndrome which is known as nevoid basal cell carcinoma syndrome. तो थोड़ा सा एक शॉर्ट डिस्क्रिप्शन अगर मैं आपको nevoid basal cell carcinoma syndrome के बारे में बताऊं, तो firstly, it is also known as jaw cyst basal cell nevus. All right. The most important term which we use in nevoid basal cell carcinoma syndrome is your Gorlin and Gold's syndrome. ये आपका एक viva question भी होगा. And finally, it is also known as bifid rib syndrome. Now, please focus on the term. The name is bifid rib syndrome. So it can be one of the clinical feature. We'll get to know about it very shortly. अब अगर मैं इसके genetic constitution की बात करूं, तो basically it is autosomal dominant trait and we see mutation in PTCH gene which is a tumor suppressor gene. इसका काम है to stop the formation of tumor, and when there will be mutation in this gene, you can definitely make out that the tumor forming nature is gonna get aggravated, right? So this will lead to formation of different kinds of tumor, in which OKC is one of them. So as I was saying, PTCH gene में mutation होने के वजह से we tend to see nevoid basal cell carcinoma syndrome, and the chromosome has been identified as 9q22.3-q31. जो आपका क्रोमोसोम पे लोकस होगा वो आइडेंटिफाइड है, and the position or the locus is 9q22.3-q31. Now this was a very short description or introduction about your nevoid basal cell carcinoma syndrome or Gorlin-Gold syndrome. जब मैं इसके क्लिनिकल फीचर की बात करूं, तो सबसे पहले हम एक ट्रायड की बात करेंगे. ट्रायड में जो कि मेनली हम nevoid basal cell carcinoma syndrome में जो हम ट्रायड देखते हैं, that comprises of your basal cell carcinoma. You will have a clinical finding which will be related to basal cell carcinoma. Then you will be having KOT, that is keratocystic odontogenic tumor. All right. And finally, as I told you, the term was bifid rib syndrome. तो the third clinical finding आपका इस ट्रायड में होगा, that is going to be bifid ribs. Okay? तो ये तीनों findings जो हैं, they are like very important and they are surely seen in nevoid basal cell carcinoma syndrome. Now apart from this triad, what we are gonna find is, firstly, अगर मैं cutaneous anomaly की बात करूं, ऑलराइट, स्किन में आपको क्या क्या एनोमलीज दिखाई देंगी nevoid basal cell carcinoma syndrome में? तो ऑब्वियसली basal cell carcinoma will be there, benign dermal cyst will be there and tumor will be there, Palmar pitting will be there and Palmar and plantar keratosis. Now when I talk about your dental and osseous anomalies, तो अगर मैं dental and osseous anomalies की बात करूं, तो सबसे पहले I already told you, we will tend to see OKC, then your bifid ribs will be present. You can also see a slight mandibular prognathism. Okay, so this was about the dental and osseous anomalies. Moving on to the ophthalmologic abnormality. So what are the abnormalities which we are gonna see in eyes? So eyes में आपको सबसे पहले हाइपर टेलोरिज्म नजर आएगा. Your nasal bridge of the patient will be wide, along with dystopia canthorum. So this was the ophthalmological anomalies which we are gonna see in your nevoid basal cell carcinoma syndrome. Now coming to the neurological anomalies, तो firstly आप patient में mental retardation देखेंगे, then hydrocephalus will be seen, then calcification of Fox cerebri will be present, and lastly when I talk about the sexual abnormalities seen in nevoid basal cell carcinoma syndrome, so hypogonadism in males and ovarian tumor in females will be seen. So this was all for now. If you like the video, do like and share. If you have any doubts, you can get back to me in the comment section. Thank you so much.